first step for programming a battery shade is waking up the motor. Wake up the motor by briefly pressing the program button on the motor head with a paperclip or pin-like item as shown. The shade will move up and down, or jog, 3 times. Next, pair the transmitter to the shade. For multi-channel transmitters, ensure that the transmitter is on the correct channel by using the Channel Select button. Then find the program button on your transmitter. Briefly press the program button on the transmitter with a paperclip or pin-like item and the shade will jog 1 time. The shade is now paired with that channel. Begin by verifying the motor rotation using the up or down buttons. If the motor direction is incorrect, modify by using the up or down button to move the shade away from its end limits. Stop the shade by pressing the My button. Then, press and hold the up and down buttons until the shade jogs 1 time. Then press and hold the My button until the shade jogs 1 more time. Using the up or down buttons, verify the shade rotation. Battery shades are shipped with preset limits. Run the shade up and down to verify its limits. If the shade limits do not need adjusting, programming is complete. If the shade is moving incrementally and stops when releasing the up or down button, skip ahead to factory reset. If the limits are not correct, you will need to adjust. To adjust the upper limit, run the shade to its current upper limit. Hold the up and down buttons simultaneously until the shade jogs 1 time. Using the up or down buttons, move the shade to the desired limit. The shade should be moving incrementally. Once the shade is at its desired limit, hold the My button until the shade jogs 1 time. Repeat this process for the lower limit. To set a favorite or My position, move the shade using the up or down buttons. Stop the shade with the My button in the desired position. Press and hold the My button until the shade jogs 1 time. You may now access the My position by briefly pressing the My button when the shade is stationary. You can delete this My position by moving to the My position and holding the My button until the shade jogs 1 time. To copy programming to a new channel on an existing or new transmitter, select the current channel you wish to copy. Hold the program button on the transmitter until the shade jogs 1 time. Then, select the new channel you wish to copy to. Briefly press the transmitter's program button and the shade will jog 1 time. To delete programming from a channel, select the channel you want to remain programmed. Press and hold the transmitter's program button until the shade jogs 1 time. Then, select the channel you want deleted. Briefly press the program button and the shade will jog 1 time. To delete all paired transmitters from a motor, press and hold the program button on the motor head with a paperclip until the shade jogs 2 times. You will now need to repair a transmitter to operate the shade. Battery shades are capable of deactivate and temporary sleep mode. These modes are useful when programming multiple shades to a single transmitter. Custom Shade recommends the use of deactivate mode only. To deactivate the shade, press and hold the transmitter's program button until the shade jogs 1 time. Then press and hold the up, My, and down button simultaneously until the shade jogs 1 time. To put the shade to sleep temporarily, press and hold the program button on the motor head until the shade jogs 1 time. Briefly press the motor head program button again and the shade will jog 2 times. The shade will now sleep for 15 minutes. To reactivate or wake up the shade before the 15-minute timeout, briefly press the motor head program button and the shade will jog 1 time. To factory reset the motor, press and hold the program button on the motor head until the shade jogs up and down 3 times. All the motor settings are now erased. Then, hold the up and down buttons on the remote to repair the transmitter. To modify the motor rotation after performing a factory reset, use the up or down button to move the shade away from its end limits. Then, press and hold the My button until the shade jogs 1 time. Using the up or down buttons, verify the motor rotation. You will now need to set your limits. To set limits after a factory reset, use the up or down buttons on the transmitter to position the shade at the desired upper limit. Once there, briefly press the My and Down buttons simultaneously to set the upper limit. The shade will begin to move down to the lower limit. Allowing the shade to run down to the lower limit, use the My button to stop the shade and use the up or down buttons to position the shade to the desired lower limit. Briefly press the up and My buttons simultaneously on the transmitter to set the lower limit. Allow the shade to run up to the upper limit that was previously set. To confirm both limits, press and hold the My button. The shade will briefly jog up and down one time. To finalize, briefly press the Program button on the back of the remote. The shade will briefly move up and down one time. The battery shade is now programmed. For more information and additional videos, visit thecustomshade.com.